Throughout the past couple years, we've found countless tricks and time savers in Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. Since 2012, we've shortened this game by 2 hours. It's been our goal to make this game shorter and shorter than previously possible. Therefore, we're always trying to think of different glitch theories in order to save time and runs. Most recently, we've theorized the Ultra Hammer early, Yoshi skip, Bobbery early, and Teleporter room early glitches, all of which became possible thanks to extensive glitch hunting within the community. At this point, the game has been broken quite a lot, but we're not quite done yet. The current optimal real-time attack run would be around a 4:15. That's still pretty long, even considering how far we've come from 2012. Well, how can we save more time? There are 2 remaining glitch theories that haven't been cracked yet. The first is a Chapter 6 skip. If you haven't, make sure to check out my previous video about this. We're able to get underneath the spikes in Chapter 8. So what? This is the last remaining room in the game that requires the use of Ultra Boots to spring jump up to the ceiling pole and shimmy across to the next platform. We can hover from the second platform to the loading zone because the gap isn't as far across as the first pit is. Since we can get underneath the spikes in this room, we're able to jump across into the second pit. Unfortunately, there's not really much we can do from here. Well, you could do a mouse glitch like I did at the start of the room, which causes Mario to regain control mid-air once Miss Mouse's text box closes after getting hit by the spikes. Except the spike's hitbox is actually positioned above the floor of the pit, meaning I actually need to do a 5-frame jump in order to get hit by the spikes. Jumping right before performing a mouse glitch, like I did at the start of the room, doesn't produce a high enough jump to get hit by the spikes. If we somehow gained enough height though, we could land on the second platform between the 2 pits and Yoshi hover across. Using tube mode, you can make it across to the 3rd pit, but you can't do anything from here. You can't use a mouse glitch to get on top of the ceiling pole because it isn't exactly a platform that you can stand on. Obviously, Goombella buffering and flurry super sliding won't work in any situation in this room. The second glitch theory is Palace Skip. This glitch has been theorized for an incredibly long time. Essentially, this glitch would allow us to skip parts of Chapter 2 and all of Chapter 3, 4, 5, and 6. In addition, it would also cut out the Riddle Tower and Gloomtail from Chapter 8. We estimate this to be an 1.5 to a 2-hour time saver. Whoa, why the big range? Well, first, let's explain the glitch itself. In the room right before Gloomtail in Chapter 8, there's actually an entire room below it. If you've played TTYD, you might remember the cutscene that occurs once you complete the Riddle Tower. The staircase of the palace lowers to reveal a completely different set of rooms. Well, the room below this is actually the one right before Grottus and Bowser. Wait, it's not here? Most elements in the room aren't there. What's always loaded though is the spring all the way on the left, and a loading zone right in the middle. Entering this loading zone and grabbing the key all the way to the left progresses the game to a state in which the room below is completely loaded, which means you can unlock the door to Grottus' lair and fight the Shadow Queen. So what's with the large range of time save estimate? Well, depending on what we need in order to perform this glitch, we may have to complete certain chapters that could otherwise be skipped. If we need Vivian or Tube mode, we'll have to complete Chapter 4. If we need Yoshi, but don't need Vivian or Tube mode, we'll need to fight past the Minor League in Chapter 3 to get him normally. If we need Ultra Boots in order to spring jump, we'll have to complete Chapter 6. And if we have to complete Chapter 6, we'll actually need to complete Chapter 4 as well in order to acquire Vivian because of 2 missions on the XS Express in Chapter 6. If we need Bobbery, we'd have to warp to Keel Hall Key and do Bobbery early, which wouldn't really cost too much time. What about the factory room in Chapter 7? Don't you need Bobbery? Solidified Gaming found that you can actually walk through this wall by triggering a battle while inside the wall using paper mode. This skips the use of Bobbery there. Assuming we don't need to do any of this extra stuff, the route would be Prologue, Chapter 1, Chapter 2 up until Super Boots, Chapter 7, which is accessible due to Teleporter Room early, and finally Chapter 8. Okay, wait. Why do you need to go through Chapter 2? In order to perform Teleporter Room early without Bobbery, you need Super Boots. TRE works because you used a paper mode glitch via Bobbery to enter the bar while staying out of bounds, and then using a flurry super slide. You can get the same paper mode glitch by running behind a fallen pillar in the same room. Since you need a jump, you have to end your jumps with a spin jump in order to maintain the paper mode glitch. Jumping normally cancels the effect and brings Mario back to his normal state. What this means is that optimally we would have Goombella, Koops, and Flurry as our partners, and play mode, which is irrelevant, and paper mode as our abilities. How can we get to the loading zone below? There are a couple things that would allow this to work. First off, Mario has a hitbox value of 20. When he turns into paper mode, his hitbox decreases to a value of 6. This is why paper mode allows Mario to squeeze into smaller places. You can actually clip into the wall by the doorway, where Mario's hitbox is set at a very low 1.6. The only problem though is we don't have any way to decrease Mario's hitbox value below 6. The other theory is changing Mario's angle upon entering the room. When Mario enters from the left or the right door, his angle value upon entry is 90 degrees or 270 degrees respectively. If this value changes to 15 while Mario enters the room, he'll walk towards the back of the room or into the seam. 0 doesn't work because Mario starts off slightly to the left or right of the room seam, so he would fall out of bounds. The problem with this theory is that we do not know of a way to either store or modify this value in any way. Other than that, all we have to work with is 2 embers and a save block. You can't get high enough using a double jump to get on top of the save block. Even from there isn't anything you can do to get out of bounds. As far as we know, it's not possible to get multiple jumps off the embers. Even if we did, the room has a ceiling that you can't jump through. We've tried save corruption, but anytime the file is corrupt, the game refuses to open it. To be perfectly fair, this seems like one of the most solid rooms in this game. We haven't found a way to get out of bounds at all. We haven't given up hope yet though. We're constantly working on new ideas and theories to hopefully make this skip real someday. I honestly believe that this will be found someday, and we will have a sub 2-hour task. We will have a 3-hour RTA run. The only question though is when. When's Palace Skip? We don't know, but as long as we're working towards it, it will be found.